A fella comes up to me the other day out on the street, smart looking fella, suit and a tie, shiny shoes, the whole Magilla, kind of guy that's real type A. He comes up to me and he says, Tom, I got $1 million in a dream. The dream is to have $2 million, and I want to open a weed dispensary. Where do I go? California? New York? Michigan? Where's all the money at? So I looked at the guy, and I really looked at him and I said, Do you own a wood chipper? And he goes, No. Why? Well, you ought to get one because if you're going to turn $1 million into a pile of dust, you might as well have some fun doing it. And at least a wood chipper, it makes a real satisfying noise while it destroys your money. And then also, you need something like them to render your recalled or quarantined cannabis unusable under the regs your dispensary will have. Right now, opening a dispensary in some states is like entering a hot dog eating contest where the other guy is Joey Chestnut and he hasn't eaten in a week. And the hot dogs are cooked just like he likes. You're not going to lose. You're going to get embarrassed. Hi, I'm Tom, a cannabis lawyer, which is a real job, they tell me, and evidently I'm pretty good at it. Our clients send me checks and everything. And today, I'm going to tell you about the one state that is this year's secret, the one state that is secretly this year's American gold rush for cannabis dispensaries. The answer is probably not what you think, and that's why you'll stick around. That and are exploiting the YouTube algorithm, which has thousands of creators asking and begging for a few simple clicks of the like and also the subscribe buttons. All right, let's talk about those shiny objects that people think they can make big cash in cannabis, stuff like California, New York, maybe Michigan, the big leagues, or some people would have us believe. However, the reality is these markets aren't just saturated, they're soggy, they're waterlogged. Opening a shop there now is like opening the fourth bar on the block. People don't need it. Heck, they don't even want it. And it'll probably just result in one of those bars closing, likely the one you just opened, because customers have three alternatives a few steps away. Competition is insane in mature states with maxed out licenses. You're not just fighting other small business owners, you're fighting multi state corporations with capital. But fortunately, they fold a lot and withdraw from states. Many of our clients that are growing are doing so because they are smart operators and get offered distressed assets all the time. So your competition may not know what they are doing, even if they are publicly traded in Canada. Trying to open in California, Michigan, New Mexico, Massachusetts, Oregon, Colorado, any mature market state with tons of licenses is a surefire way for a noob in this industry to lose their shirt. And they tend to like those shirts. They make them feel, important, especially if they have like embroidery on it. So where's the smart money going? Where's the real play for 2025? Get this. You won't frickin' believe it. Rhode Island. Yeah, I know. Rhode Island. You probably can't even find it on a map. The whole state is smaller than a parking lot of a Texas Walmart. But here's the thing about being the small and boring state that nobody's watching. That's where the opportunity is. They have tons of growers that can't sell their product. So they should be able to compete on price with Massachusetts and Connecticut that neighbor it. And no, this is not a joke about the best state to open a dispensary in 2025. This is serious. Here's three reasons why this is not a joke. Reason the first, a government created oligopoly or monopoly, what they call a moat. Rhode Island isn't handing out licenses like they're flyers for Pentecostal churches. No, they're not giving out 1,000 of them. They're not giving out 100 of them. They're authorizing a grand total of 24. That's just 24 new retail licenses, and some of them probably won't open for the whole state of 1.1 million people. There are only 13 licenses currently for a grand total of 37 for that 1.1 million people. That's one dispo per 29,730 people. That's good. You know what that's called? That's being the only guy in town who knows how to make a sandwich. You don't have to be a gourmet chef. You don't need arugula or imported alioli. You just need bread and maybe something to put between it. People are hungry. They'll find you. In Rhode Island, the government isn't your enemy creating red tape and additional competition. It's your rich, slightly clueless uncle creating a small, exclusive club and telling you that you're his favorite nephew. You kind of want to be in that club. And that club does cause owners to be somewhat lazy and sloppy. So if you actually know what you're doing, you can really clean up and take their business. Reason two, it's kind of a perfect location. It's a little desert, literally a little desert. Now, Rhode Island is famously where Dillon went electric and kind of right smack in the middle of other places. It's a geographical afterthought because you can drive through it in 45 minutes or less. It's bordered by Massachusetts and Connecticut, two states with their own interesting and like different cannabis situations. Massachusetts has some of the highest cannabis taxes in the region, and people drive from Massachusetts to New Hampshire to buy a booze without tax. You don't think they're going to drive an extra 20 minutes to save 20% on their weed? Of course they will. And Connecticut? Well, Connecticut is a dinky state as well. It's the wealthiest state in the country and evidently has its own style of pizza. They move, at least their cannabis industry moves, at a slow, drowsy snail's pace. Their rollout has been ridiculously slow. Their supply is limited, so it's pretty dry there. You're not just serving the million people plus of Rhode Island, you're a spider building a beautiful profit web that is going to try to get customers not just from your state, but maybe from neighboring states. You can put a little sign outside that says, "Welcome, Connecticut or Massachusetts shoppers. Your money is good here." It's kind of beautiful in a predatory, capitalistic kind of way, and actually fairly common in the industry. Reason the third, a lottery. This is a lottery which you may actually be able to game and get some statistical advantage. And many states, you kind of figure like the lotteries are rigged, like wink, wink. But the folks in Providence, in their infinite wisdom, have created something slightly different. It's a lottery that needs clerical endurance. You have to have all your ducks in a row. It's not only about luck, it's about also being the one person who has done all the homework, read all the footnotes. The state has published a very long checklist. It's long and boring. It's called regulations. And they will throw your entire application, your $1 million dream, into the trash for the dumbest reasons. Okay, no, they won't, but they will disqualify you if you do not toe the line and follow all the rules. And that's what we do over at Collateral Base. We win lotteries by doing what the rules say. No funny stuff. You can lose the license and get your name in the paper for doing the funny stuff. So we have a no funny stuff policy at Collateral Base. Okay, so maybe you're convinced a little bit. You think Rhode Island is a great idea for you to make that next $1 million in cannabis, but don't get cocky. That's how you walk away with one of these 24 golden tickets without ending up a ditch. Let's go over the steps. Step one, form your business entity properly and meet the initial qualifications because those 24 licenses are split. I mean, it may sound basic, but you do need a Island LLC or corporation. Try to skip the flashy names like Kush Emporium for something, more inconspicuous like Ocean State Wellness. If you're pursuing a social equity license, one per zone with qualifications like residing in a DIA, disproportionately impacted area, for 5 of the past 10 years, or having a cannabis related arrest, ensure at least 51% ownership by qualified individuals, and that's permanent. For workers' collective licenses, incorporate as one fully owned by employees. You have to then disclose all your personnel, owners, officers, directors, managers, investors, and anyone with an operational control or financial interest. Those are typically fairly broad definitions. And reveal any other cannabis licenses that you hold. Remember, no one can be a majority owner or controlling person in more than one Rhode Island cannabis business. Moving to step two, secure your location. These property details need to be done up front. You can't get into the lottery or win this without proof of site control at application time, like a deed or a signed lease. Include a draft floor plan and get verification letters from your local municipality confirming zoning compliance. Your spot has to be at least 500 feet away from any K to 12 school, measured from property line to property line. Remember, you can apply in all 6 geographic zones, but only operate in one. And there are 4 licenses per zone, including open license types, which don't have any qualifications except for the generic style of qualifications. And there's social equity and this new collective, this workers collective types. Those ones might not stand up as easily. We'll see. Step three, prepare the required plans on the official forms. Your application, it's not creative writing. Do creative writing on your application. It's documentation. Use the state provided forms. Submit the 3 key plans. That is the business and financing plan, detailing operations and funding, security and safety plan, covering protocols to prevent issues like diversion, and your operations plan that outlines daily procedures, inventory controls, community impact, diversity hiring, yada, yada. Make them thorough and compliant. Check all the boxes, read all the rules. These aren't optional. For financing, show real funds. Bank statements providing liquid capital, no vague application fees. They're kind of expensive, 7,500 unless you're a social equity applicant, and then those might be waived. But your annual license fee is 30 large once approved. Step four, get in that lottery. Make sure everything's in order. This isn't pure chance. It's a lottery that rewards preparation. If you want to get in, you have to have a compliant application. And so submit everything during the open window, knowing that it's only for adult use dispensaries. And if you're selected, you have 9 months to become operational, 12 if you're special, like a social equity or workers collective, and avoid, again, the funny stuff. Follow the rules strictly, or you might get rejected or get some bad press. We specialize this, no shortcuts. We just win by the book. And so there we go. What have we learned today? We've learned that everyone is looking at all these bright, shiny lights they think of, maybe New York, maybe California, maybe some other new state that they've heard, and walking straight into a financial wood chipper. Meanwhile, little old Rhode Island, a state that people forget exists, and it's rolling out one of the smartest, most profitable plays in the industry for 2025. All right, it's the end of the free advice spiel here. I'm a little tired thinking about all the paperwork we're gonna have to do to help one, maybe up to three lucky winners. If this was helpful, or at least a decent way to kill 15 minutes, hit that like button, and then also there is a subscribe button, and you can share it with your rich uncle who's looking for a tax write-off, because we do this kind of deep dive all the time, or whenever I get a break from working. And if you're one of those serious people, the ones that actually have the cash and the guts to try this, don't do it alone. That's a terrible idea. Head over to cannabisindustrylawyer.com. My team and I, we kind of live for this boring stuff. Love finding the typos and being corrected by members of my team. Happens all the time. We build your boring book for you. It's what we do. Thanks for watching. I'm Tom Howard, and see you on Sundays.